Hello, good morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome. Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Konbit 2025, first time ever. We are doing this, helping with this. We are honored to be part of this great celebration. My name is Eddie Arrieta, and once again, honored to be here at the opening of this year's event. This is our annual celebration of Haitian Creole, celebration of a community, and a celebration on the power of language to connect and empower. Over the next today, October 22nd and October 23rd, we'll explore how Haitian Creole continues to bridge worlds between tradition and innovation, between people and technology, between the local and the global. And of course, before we begin, let's connect with our global audience. Please, those that are watching over LinkedIn or any of the other places where we are live streaming, please share with us where you are watching from. Write it in the comments, whether you're in Haiti, the US, Canada, France, the Caribbean, anywhere in the world, please write down where you are at. And let's take a moment to say hi to those that are in there. And of course, we will try our Haitian Creole. Today you will see expressions. And anywhere that you are in the world, we will make sure that your comments are read. Of course, it is wonderful to see the people that we will have at this event and to have a great lineup of panelist presentations as well as artistic presentations. We know that this is a big proof of, or at least that the spirit of Konbit is really transcending borders. And Camila, who is in our back end, is going to be helping us today. We are going to get started on this date. Oh, there we go. It's Tofu connecting from Hanover, Massachusetts. Nice to see you. Hello, and thank you for joining Konbit 2025. We'll give an extra minute if that's possible. Once again, we're in the first day of Konbit 2025. It's a 2-day event. We will be letting you know what are some of those activities that we will have for the next 2 days. Like we said, we will have live performances, artistic performances. We will have keynote presentations, and we will have panel presentations. But Camila, if we can get started with our performance for the day. To open Konbit 2025, we have a performance by Métis Cacao, blending music, rhythm, and movement that embody the cultural soul of Haiti. If you would allow us, please, let's enjoy the following artistic expression that reminds us why language, art, and identity are inseparable. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Bonjour tout le monde. Non pas c'est Kessita Clénard.
Non pas c'est Amos Coulange.
Nous formons duo Métis Cacao et c'est un grand plaisir pour nous, c'est un honneur pour nous participer dans Konbit 2025 autour de langue créole là. 2, 3, 4, 5 moun qui pour marcher pour la vie. 5, 10, 15, 20, 35 tant que nous blessons, tant que nous en force. Même avec déjà fait de nous, y'en a qui ont toujours fait de. Qu'il te fit, qu'il te garçon, tout souffrir, tout comme mourir. Moins besoin de 100, 230 000 monde. Qui pour marcher, et pour nous continuer, bien évidemment, nous allons chanter continue ça qui est les cousins dans Konbit. Ça dit maman moi grand, ça dit ça pour faire, ça dit on a l'école, ça dit si on va ça dit ouais moi même pas là. Ça maman dit c'est les pour faire, c'est pas faire la galette, mais il les chaud, mais il les fait, ça chaud ça fait. À l'arrivée, Amos pas gagné, à l'arrivée, Marlène pas gagné, à l'arrivée, Xavier pas gagné. Sac pas gagné, la lève, les parades, sac pas gagné, la lève, les parades, belle coupe, belle santé, c'est ouais. Chire soulier pour ça pas dit moyen pour papa c'est cordonnier maman c'est couturier c'est chire la mamelotte chire c'est chire la mamelotte chire c'est chire la mamelotte coller la quina coller la la quina coller la colla continue balancer le colla continue balancer le coller la quina coller la la quina coller cola, continue balancer le cola, continue balancer le cola. que ça plaît nous, ça plaît et tout panel là, et nous sommes vraiment contents de participer dans Konbit 2025 là, parce que nous croyons que dans Konbit, avec tête ensemble, la privée atteindre objectif nous. C'était moi-même qui suis Clénard.
Amos Coulange.
Pour dire métis cacao.
Parler créole.
On parle créole. Bye.
That is wonderful. And I hope everyone got to enjoy Metis Cacao today. And of course, the great talents, singing talents, as well as guitar performing talents that we've had today. Once again, if you are joining us over LinkedIn or over YouTube, please leave your comments. We've had people from the United States, and now we have Karin Der Hartog joining from London, the UK. Welcome once again to Konbit 2025, the power of Haitian Creole in global dialogue. 2 days of activities that we will have. So today, we're going to get started with a wonderful opening keynote that sets the tone for this Konbit 2025. Like I just mentioned, this keynote presentation is called The Power of Haitian Creole in Global Dialogue. In this keynote, we'll explore how Haitian Creole serves as both a cultural anchor for Haitians everywhere and a vital language for international communication across education, diplomacy, technology, health, and the arts. Our keynote speaker today is Marlene Julien. She's the founder and chief Creolist at Creole Solutions. For more than 15 years, Marlene and her team have made Haitian Creole visible, accessible, and respected in professional and humanitarian spaces worldwide. Before we begin, remember, like I just said, leave your comments and questions in the comments that we have. We will have a Q&A moment at the end of this keynote. If there are any questions, please share your reflections, please share your questions in the comments, and we'll highlight a few after the talk. Marlene, without any further ado, welcome and thank you for opening Konbit 2025 with us.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Mwen ve salye tout compatriot nou yo, tout kreolist nou yo, map di nou lizay. Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us for Konbit 2025, our global celebration of Haitian language and culture. And what a beautiful performance that was by Métis Cacao. The melody, the voice, the guitar strings carrying the soul of Haiti. As Eddie just mentioned, I'm Marlene Julien, founder of Creole Solutions. And for more than 20 years, I have been working as a language professional, helping people be understood when it matters the most. And if we could go to the slide, Camila. Thank you. Yes. So the title of the talk is The Unexplored Power of Haitian Creole. And as I just said, for more than 20 years now, I've been a language professional, but there's one moment that changed how I see language forever. And I'm going to share that story with you in the next slide. Thank you, Camila. It was January 2010, the days following the earthquake in Haiti. I was working at the Consulate of Haiti in Chicago when the first flights began arriving at O'Hare Airport, carrying survivors, families who had lost everything. I remember standing there with the members of the American Red Cross, waiting as passengers slowly walked through the terminal, some in wheelchairs, some holding nothing but plastic bags. The sound of the airport, the intercom announcements, the rolling suitcases, felt distance compared to the silence on their faces. You could see it in their eyes: panic, exhaustion, disbelief. They had survived the unimaginable, only to arrive in a place where no one spoke their language. I watched as airline staff and relief workers tried to communicate, but the words didn't connect. Then I spoke in Haitian Creole. And on the next slide, Camila, we have a translation of what I said. And what I said was, Bonjour, non mwen se Marlene, mwen akompaye la Croix-Rouge Américain pour aider nous. Mette nou à l'aise. Mwen konen mouman yo difisil an pil, mais nou pa pou kont nou. Nap ede nou jwen soin, nap ede nou jwen kote pou nou dormi, epi nap ede nou jwen yon ti souf, apre sa nou sot viv la. After I said that, the change was instant. The panic softened, shoulders relaxed, tears began to fall, not from fear, but from relief. I remember one woman, I later learned that her name was Marie Rose. She reached for my hand and she didn't say much at first. She just held on. And when she finally spoke, all she said was, "Merci." That moment stayed with me ever since. It reminded me that language is not a tool, it's a lifeline. It can calm chaos, it can restore dignity, it can make strangers feel seen and safe. That day, I saw the impact I could have as a community interpreter, and I understood something I've never forgotten. Haitian Creole is not just a language of survival, it's a language of humanity. And we're going to go to the next slide, please, to talk about Konbit, the theme of this celebration. In Haiti, we have a saying, "Me en pile, chay palou." It means many hands make the load lighter. That's what Konbit is all about. When I think of Konbit, I think of music, which we just heard earlier, the kind that fills the air and somehow makes even the hardest work feel light. A Konbit is Haiti's tradition of collective labor, when neighbors come together to plant, harvest, or build for one another. Everyone brings what they can: a hoe, a song, a pot of rice, and somehow by the end of the day, the work is finished, the meal is shared, and the laughter lingers. I come from a small village in the north of Haiti called Namapu, and I remember those days of Konbit vividly. When a Konbit was announced, you could feel it before you saw it. The sound of the drum in the distance, the smell of rice and beans cooking in big iron pots, the lead singer teasing the slow workers in song, praising the fast ones, and making everyone laugh. And if you worked too slowly, you could be sure you'd end up in the next verse. As a child, I didn't fully understand it, but I felt it. That joy, that rhythm, that sense of community, that was the soul of Haiti. This event itself is a Konbit, a gathering of many hands and minds working together to uplift our language and our people. And just like Konbit, our language was born from that same desire to connect, to survive, and to create something new. And some of you may be learning about Haitian Creole for the first time. So let's take a moment to honor its history. On the next slide, please, Camila. Thank you. So Haitian Creole was born on the plantations of Saint-Domingue, what we call Haiti now, on the 17th and 18th centuries. On that island, three worlds collided: enslaved Africans from many nations and languages, Europeans who controlled the colony, and the indigenous Taino people, the island's first inhabitants. In the harsh reality of colonial life, these groups were forced into daily contact in the fields, the kitchens, the marketplaces. They had to find a way to communicate, not just to survive, but to understand one another. At first, they built a bridge. a simple way of speaking to make meaning across difference. But through countless exchanges, that bridge became a language, rich, expressive, and alive. As Haitian historian William Balangobert, who we will have the honor of hearing from tomorrow, reminds us, Creole was the organic outcome of people adapting to one another in the most difficult of circumstances. In other words, Haitian Creole was one of the world's first acts of language access, born from the human need to connect across barriers of power and understanding. You can still hear traces of Fon, Ewe, Kikongo, and other African languages, woven in Spanish, Portuguese, English, and even Taino. So when people ask if Haitian Creole is broken French, the answer is categorically not. It's a complete, poetic, and living language, a bridge between two worlds. Next slide, please. So the story of Haitian Creole doesn't end on the plantations, but for the sake of this event, this presentation, I'm going to go fast forwards to the year of 1957. Over the past several decades, Haitian Creole has made tremendous strides from the margin to the mainstream. In 1957, Haitian Creole was mentioned for the first time in the Constitution, affirming every citizen's right to speak Creole in public spaces. In 1979, the Bernard educational reform began integrating Creole into schools. That was a historic step toward linguistic equality and education. And a year later, in 1980, Haiti adopted a standardized writing system, giving Creole an official orthography and paving the way for literacy and translation work. By 1987, the Constitution officially recognized Creole as one of the nation's two official languages, finally giving the people language equal legal status. During the 1990s and 2000s, Creole experienced a cultural boom in literature, radio, television, and then the internet, as writers, artists, and educators embrace this as a vehicle for national expression. And then we'll go to the next slide, the modern era of Haitian Creole. And the previous slide, please, Camila. Yes, the modern era of Haitian Creole. And in 2010, Google adopted Haitian Creole after the earthquake because they realized Haitians spoke mostly one language, which is Haitian Creole. So that was very important because it brought the language into the digital age. In 2014, the Académie Créole Haïtien was established, a landmark institution dedicated to preserving and promoting the language. By 2015, students began writing their thesis fully in Haitian Creole, and this marked its acceptance in academia. And in 2020, the Ministry of Education launched new Creole-based materials for schools across Haiti. Next slide, please. And as we can see here, globally, Creole has entered the digital age. It's on Google, Facebook, and OpenAI. They all support it. And you can see entire websites and learning platforms have been localized in Creole, ensuring access to technology, education, and services in our own language. So this is me talking with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said, "Hello, my name is ChatGPT. I'm your assistant. What's your name?" And here in Facebook, you could set your settings into Haitian Creole and experience the whole platform in Haitian Creole. And of course, we have Google Translate here where you can do some translation using Google Translate. And if we could go to the next slide, please, Camila. Thank you. More than 10 million people speak Haitian Creole worldwide, including nearly 1 million households here in the United States. From Miami to New York to Paris to Santiago, Haitian Creole continues its original purpose to make understanding possible, to build connection, and ensure that no one is left behind. Next slide, please, Camila. So, if Haitian Creole could emerge from the trauma of enslavement, survive centuries of discrimination, and still speak to millions today, what else is possible with Haitian Creole? This year, as we celebrate our 10-year anniversary, we started a series called What's Possible with Haitian Creole. So I'm going to be sharing some of those stories with you so you can see real, tangible power of Haitian Creole in action. We'll go to the next slide now. So we'll begin with where every nation's future begins, in the classroom. Education is where language makes its deepest impact. In Haiti, most schools still teach exclusively in French, even though the majority of students speak only Haitian Creole. That means millions of children grow up trying to learn in a language they don't fully understand, memorizing words instead of mastering ideas. That's where Creole Solutions comes in. We're partnering with educators, translators, and local organizations to develop learning materials in Creole. Because when students learn in a language they speak, they learn faster, they dream bigger, and achieve more. Beyond schools, we also teach Haitians how to read and spell Creole correctly on social media, breaking myths, correcting common mistakes, and helping thousands gain confidence in writing in their own language. Every post is a small act of empowerment, reminding Haitians everywhere that their language is beautiful, logical, and worthy of mastery. We've also created writing contests and teacher resources to connect literacy with empowerment, showing that Creole is not just a home language, but a language of science, creativity, and leadership. In the US, when we provided the Haitian Creole version of the end of the year exams for school districts, test scores rose and quiet students began to shine. When education speaks to the student's language, learning follows. Next slide, please. When we talk about health, language access is not a matter of convenience. It's a matter of survival. Here, I just learned that Dr. Latoya Hunter, in her 2025 doctoral thesis at Northeastern University, highlighted the critical role Creole Solutions plays in healthcare communication. She found that when medical instructions, post-operative care, and clinical materials are translated and interpreted accurately in Haitian Creole, patients not only understand their care, they trust it. That trust leads to better compliance, safer recoveries, and stronger outcomes for diverse patient populations. Her research reminds us that language is not a tool of communication only, it's a bridge to health equity. Next slide, please. And safety. Now let's talk about safety. And a lot of Haitians are working in construction sites or plants in the United States. And we know that safety isn't just about rules or procedures, it's about understanding. In Chicago, a manufacturing company with 30 Haitian employees had no clear safety communication. One day, a worker was injured after following the lockout tagout instruction that had been run through Google Translate. That moment changed everything. Creole Solutions was brought in to develop a complete bilingual safety program with translated manuals, voiceover training, and on-site interpretation. Within 3 months, accidents dropped by 40%. But more importantly, employees said that for the first time, they felt respected, informed, and safe. When people understand, they protect themselves and each other. Let's go to the next slide. And beyond health and safety lies another form of protection: justice. Across Haiti and the diaspora, true justice begins with understanding. Creole Solutions has translated legal documents and voter education materials into clear Haitian Creole, ensuring people can read, question, and act. And we'll move on to economy and the digital future. Finally, let's look at the future, where language meets technology. Haitian Creole now lives in the digital economy, and Creole Solutions is helping lead that transformation. We've localized social media platforms, e-learning programs, and AI data for hospitals and universities. We've trained more than 100 Haitian Creole translators and interpreters worldwide, creating new jobs and professional pathways. Every project, every safety guide, school notice, or health brochure helps another family gain the power to understand and thrive. We'll go on to the next slide. And yet, for all the progress we've made, one truth remains: we still haven't allowed Haitian Creole to reach its full potential. I've heard too many people say, "You can't do that in Haitian Creole. Creole has no grammar. It's just broken French." Well, I'll tell you today, these are not facts. They are fears. And these are the voices that keep Haitian Creole small. This year, as we said, we are celebrating 10 years. 10 years of proving that Creole can do anything any language can do. As we mark this milestone, we are also looking ahead. The future of Creole is wide open. Digital storytelling is bringing Creole to global audiences, and businesses that invest in language access are building trust and loyalty with Creole-speaking communities worldwide. Next slide, please. But to unlock that future, we have to face a truth. We have kept Creole in a cage. We celebrate it in songs and jokes, but we hesitate when we use it for science, policy, or diplomacy. We treat it as a language of emotion, not of intellect. It's time to change that, because really the limitation is not the language. The limitation is us. When we free the language, we free 12 million speakers whose words have too often been confined to the margins. We free workers who finally understand safety signs. We free children who learn in the language of their heart. And we free translators and interpreters who make the invisible visible. Haitian Creole is not a barrier. It's a bridge to dignity, opportunity, and global audience. Lè nou libere lang nou libere tèt nou libere pays nou. And now we'll go to the next slide. And we'll go back to Marie-Rose. Remember Marie-Rose that I mentioned earlier, that I met at the airport a few years ago? Back then, her voice was trembling, her eyes full of fear, until someone answered her in Haitian Creole. And that moment, language became understanding, understanding became calm, and calm became dignity. Mai was eventually settled in the United States after the earthquake. And with time and with the help of interpreters and translators, she navigated her new world, filling out immigration papers, finding doctors she could talk to, going to nursing school, succeeding at her job, enrolling her children in school. And today she's thriving. Her children are in college, she has her green card, and every step of that journey was guided by understanding through language. That's the power of Haitian Creole. It doesn't just translate words, it transforms lives. Next slide, please. So this virtual Konbit is our way of honoring that bridge and of imagining together what comes next. Over the next 2 days, you'll hear from AI experts exploring the future of Creole in language and technology, translators and interpreters sharing lessons learned in the field, HR professionals explaining the importance of having language services for their Haitian workforce. And we'll have historian William Balangobert, who will speak on the future of Haitian Creole itself. We hope this gathering inspires you, whether you're a linguist, a technologist, a teacher, or simply someone who loves the language, to be a part of our Konbit. Mais en pile, chai palou. Because when we free the people, we free the language. And when we free the language, we enrich the world. Next slide, please. So thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of this Konbit. And if you want to learn more about Haitian Creole translation, scan the QR code where you can download our free ebook called What Clients Need to Know About Haitian Creole Translation, and you can explore more of our resources. Like I said, we're celebrating our 10 years, and you could read the series What's Possible with Haitian Creole on our website. You could visit our website at creolesolutions.com to stay connected. Follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Let's keep lifting in classrooms, hospitals, and boardrooms until every Haitian Creole speaker is seen, heard, and understood. Thank you. We can go to the final slide. Thank you so much. And you can follow us on Creole Solutions. And here's my email where you can contact me. Merci en pile.
Thank you, Marlene, for your keynote, for your thoughts on, of course, the evolution of Creole, Haitian Creole, and we have a great lineup. So we are going to continue with that lineup. Not before we say hi to some of the people that are joining us in the different places and in LinkedIn. We have Catherine Liner Hecken from Germany, Hamburg, Germany. Really nice to say hello to you, everyone in there in Germany. Also, Haitian Creole and French interpreter, Trevor Watson. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We also from New York, we have Wilhelm. Oh, can't figure it out. But from New York, hello. Of course, we have people on YouTube. We have people on LinkedIn, Dominican Republic. We have in there, surely from Colombia as well. Kerlin Torufi, thank you. As well, Dominican Republic, yes. We have more people from the Dominican Republic, from YouTube, LinkedIn as well, Hamburg, like we have said. Of course, this is one of our presentations for today. The next turn in our presentation, we turn to how humans and technology can work together, how language service providers are shaping the ethical and inclusive future of artificial intelligence. Our next session is a panel titled Guiding the Machines, the Essential Role of LSPs in an AI Era. Artificial intelligence is transforming how we translate, communicate, and understand each other. But human expertise remains essential for accuracy, ethics, and cultural depth. This conversation brings together leaders working across technology, artificial intelligence, and language services to explore how humans guide machines, not the other way around. Please help me welcome, first of all, Constance Lace, the founder and executive director of Creole Pro and leader of Creole MT. Also, Jean-Marc Julien, software engineer and educator specializing in AI and automation. And Fritz Gerald Seferin, CEO of Defrilex LS, an AI researcher focused on multilingual innovation. Before we begin, a reminder, we'll have a Q&A segment after the discussion. So please share your questions, share your thoughts in the chat as you listen, and help me welcome the panelists for Konbit 2025. Hello, hello. It's really nice to meet you. I want to give each of you an opportunity to say hello to our audience. So if we can go, Constance, Jean-Marc, and Fritz, then that'd be great.
Sure. First of all, I'm Constance Lays from Creole Pro and Creole MT. And before I go ahead, I want to thank you and Eddie Arietta for rolling the carpet for us, for our language and to giving us the space to really talk about the language and then everything that comes with it, the soul of our people, because our language, Haitian Creole, was born out of resilience, unity, and freedom. So, on behalf of who will be speaking, and then who teaches and carry Haitian Creole, we want to thank you so much.
All right, all right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Creole Month. I'm Jean-Marc Julian with GP Solutions. Thank you, Eddie, for inviting us here. It's an honor to be here alongside with Fritz and Constance, and I'm really excited to talk about these two passions of mine, artificial intelligence and the Creole language. So thank you again, and hello, everybody.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So it's a pleasure to be here, and happy Asian Crew Month. So thank you, Marlene, for putting together this great panel, and it's a pleasure to be with Constance and Jean to talk about AI and the language services industry as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for being here and great. It's a incredible conversation happening, of course, across the language industry and Haitian Creole as well included into this conversation. A bit of what we need to unpack today to help those that are watching understand where we are in the conversation, perhaps could be the place of where the challenges are. From your perspective, what are the key challenges that LSPs, service providers, translators are facing when we are balancing, yes, efficiency and automating and putting the machine to do things, but on the other side, authenticity, culturalization, cultural accuracy, cultural sensitivities. From your perspectives, and of course your years of experience, could each of you tell us how do you see this part of the conversation, that balancing act between efficiency and authenticity?
Yeah, well, can I start?
Please.
All right. Yeah, so definitely, especially for Haitian Creole, which is qualified as an underrepresented language, it is really, really important to have the human oversight on the AI translation. It is a must, and with the fact that we definitely have issues. The language doesn't have enough data online, and we have, as far as English or French and the most common languages, it flows better. However, Haitian Creole needs the human oversight. We can take an example, for as far as idioms cannot be are very difficult to put into translation, and with the interpreters, translators are needed to have really to um, render the proper language. We have bias simplifications. AI trained mostly on French and English data may prioritize colonial structures and syntax, or marginalizing authentic Creole grammar. So it is definitely a must. We have those challenges, and then if someone is thinking that they can just render, put a document or just run it on AI and then be able to speak to the heart of the people, it will be very difficult, specifically for certain fields such as the legal field, the medical field, and so on and so forth.
Yes, and I want to add on to that. You hit it right on the head, Constance. So, like idioms is an example of where in language there can be a lot of struggle, even for human learners, but especially you can imagine for AI. So let's take for example, an idiom like tête chargée, right? So it literally means loaded head. But if you're new to the language, you might not understand what it really means. So what it means is you're kind of overwhelmed or you're stressed. We can take another example, like in English, don't bite off more than you can chew. So if you're a new learner to the language, you might just think it means don't eat too much, but really it means don't overwhelm yourself. So you could see how AI might have difficulty in interpreting these kind of idioms and expressions. And languages are filled with these kind of things, especially Haitian Creole. And so AI might be able to translate literally, but not necessarily interpret the emotional or cultural meaning. And so you really need humans to be there to be able to guide that cultural accuracy and the meaning behind the words.
Uh, Definitely. So I just want to add, a few things. Basically, um, to summarize, let's say everything that Constant and Jane just said is AI doesn't truly understand meaning. We can say definitely AI produce like what come next. It's basically because those modern natural language processing system, like if you see ChatGPT or BERT, they use something called probabilistic language modeling. It's basically based on huge data set, right? Because of that, they don't have semantic understanding or live experience. So that's why you see, for example, some of the idioms that Gene use. If you give those idioms an Asian Creole to an AI chatbot, they won't be able to find the meaning behind it because basically the way they are built, they are not built to be able to find the meaning behind the words. They are built just to get the next token. As long as they are doing what they're supposed to do, they're fine. That's why we can definitely say the human oversight, the human on the loop. It's really important because you can't really give AI a document and then let AI do the translation on its own. For sure, if you do that, you won't be able to have even 80% accuracy. You still need the human to do the proofreading and the editing as well.
Thank you for your perspectives. Of course, those are the key to this conversation. So we're talking a little bit about what is also discussed in the industry in terms of the context that these models have and the way in which these models can be trained and should be trained. From your perspectives, what does an LSP need to do, or how can LSPs ensure that these AI tools are trained responsibly? What does responsible training look like for Haitian Creole, if we can put it that way, if anyone can share their insights on this?
I can share my insight first. So, LSPs are really positioned very well to be able to provide a good training set because LSPs they have an extensive database of translations that they have acquired throughout the years with all of their clients in specific fields such as legal, healthcare, education, and so. What should be done is to kind of gradually build those training with specific niche of the data sets, and then you can refine it with some human oversight, and then you expand over time. It's kind of like when you're training a chef on a menu. You start and master a few recipes, and then you tackle the wide menu, right? So this is going to ensure that the AI outputs are culturally accurate and contextually appropriate for the specific fields that they adhere to. So LSPs, I believe, are in a very good position because of that extensive database of translations that they've acquired.
So, to add to what Jim just said, it's true. LSPs they have domain specific high quality linguistic data, So one of the thing I always said has language services provider, if you have the data, you're not only going to like share those data to AI companies building AI system. You could also curate those data, because having the data itself doesn't mean you will be able to produce high level of AI system, like for example, speech to text system, or text to speech system, to the translation or interpretation. So because the creation part of the process of like fine tuning or building an AI model, the creation part of the data is the most important thing, because in an AI there is that thing called garbage in, garbage out. It's basically the AI will be able to generate responses. You will get exactly what you give to that AI. So that's why the LSP is one of the things that they could play, and building strong cultural our AI system is by participating in the creation process of the data. Because what happened when you take times, to making sure the data is correct well, is because the cultural authenticity, right? The cultural authenticity that we're talking about with the AI doesn't understand the meaning. So you need human to be able to come and teach those AI system how to understand the meaning behind those words. But since the LSPs, they already have those data, so they just need expert that can come and use those data, create them to be able, to do that.
Absolutely. And to reiterate what you just said, I mean, it's important to have that human in the loop. As an LSP, myself, with Creole Pro, and mostly also with Creole MT, we make sure that we go, first of all, we sit down with the client and we make sure that we build that glossary. And then we use, of course, AI to do a term extraction. And with that, we sit down with the client, we ask them what are their goals, and then what's the literacy level of of their readers, of the intended public, their audience, to make sure that it's culturally adapted, and then linguistically that that it resonates with their public. And with that, and also although we do have that QA layer that we must have, and to make sure, sometimes we, not even sometimes, we, in our process, it is important for an LSP to have the locals. And for example, on a marketing campaign, it's important to consult, as an LSP in the US, it's important to have our native translators or native like experts, to ask them, is this resonating? We consult with them to make sure that it's appropriate for that specific market. Um, and as native LSPs is one of the best way for a company to reach out. Like Marlene and I, like we're LSPs, but we specialize in Haitian Creole. And then there's a plus to that, because we have in our staff native Haitian Creole translators, and we can even push it to trans creators, because Haitian Creole is the language that it is, with the lack of data and everything, and the cultural tone to it. It is important for us to bring it, to make it adaptable, to make so that it can resonate with the public. Yeah, that's what I would.
Thank you all for sharing those perspectives. Of course, it's sounding like the humans, like we already know, humans critical for this conversation, especially when we talk about the elements of cultural nuance, the elements of the cultural context, the texture of what the culture has itself. and it seems like the machines will not be able to not only catch up but also to continue keeping track of what's happening with culture. So it gets me thinking about how is it that we can potentially maintain cultural nuance, maintain that cultural richness when integrating artificial intelligence. Does it come as you're structuring and preparing the architecture for these models? Or is it also the layer of human in the loop that you're mentioning? How do you ensure that you continue to have this adaptation of the cultural nuance and the evolution of the language? Because Haiti is not stationary. It's moving and it's growing, and you get new representations. If anyone can tell us a little bit about that cultural nuance and how to make sure that we continue sprinkling along the way.
So, like I just said, I was talking about, and the process of building, or in the process of integrating AI system into interpretation or translation, especially for Haitian Creole. The first part we were talking about data, right? So I think if you want to integrate AI into any marginalized language like Haitian Creole, the first thing that would be the first bottleneck, or the first issue that you need to solve. It's going to be the data issue. Like I just mentioned, curate the data. It's really important because like I said, you need to making sure that the data is accurate, the cultural authenticity is there, and then you want to make sure the data is annotated with context, like the tone, the intent, the cultural cues, not just the words. Because the thing is, we have talked about this so many times. The problem with generative AI today is because generative AI only will be able to generate the next token. So now imagine you give a marketing material to like a generative AI chatbot like ChatGPT or Claude, and then you want that chat to be able, to translate that marketing material. It's going to be very complicated for them to do that, because you need the cultural context of it. Because that marketing materials, there are people, and the target language that gonna read it, that gonna see it. So you need to understand how these people think, how they react to certain things. What are the things that are part of the culture that are really important to them? So these things, the AI that the generative AI system that we currently have, they don't have those things. But that doesn't mean we can't teach them, how to look for those cultural authenticity, cultural nuances, the tone, the intent, and all of that in every translation. That's where the workflows comes in. Each companies, they can build specific workflows. Those workflows, they could always have human on the loop. You have the AI do generate a first draft of the document. You have another AI generate a second draft. You have another AI generate a third draft, and then you have the human do the oversight. Proofread it, and then after that, you can send it back to the AI as well to compare all the translations, so that way the AI can learn from it. There's so many things, so many workflows you can build for LSPs and businesses that are looking to integrate AI and into the translation system to get very accurate result.
Absolutely. And to add what you just said, um, it's just that for the workflows, before we can talk about how workflows have evolved. Workflows before we had the neural machine translation, it was linear, mechanical, and just a one-way pipeline, where machine translation just it just rendered the context, the content, with and humans used to correct the errors. But nowadays, it has evolved to collaborative ecosystem where human expertise, with our human expertise, we train we train, we guide the model, and we refine AI, and then we're able to, for each client, we're able to build a model for them. And with that, we still will need the linguists. Just the linguists are not just going to fix it, but it will teach it to understand, you know, as much as possible how it needs to with the public that it's intended for. And that's why it's important to add, even for the usual user on a platform, on a translation platform, to add like an option for them to just give some context on the what they want to attain with the text. And AI with the built-in prompt will be able to render it as the customer wants it. So definitely the workflow is no longer machine driven, it's human centered and AI assisted, I would say. And then it brings souls, it preserves the soul of within the language.
Yes, and I want to also add, yeah, as Constance and Fritz mentioned, yeah, you have a lot of different components. You have the data, that the extensive data that the LSPs have that are in specific niches, in whether it's legal or healthcare, and these are real world scenarios that are going to contain context, and cultural scenarios, but also. I think Constance also mentioned that she uses like terminology lists in some of her workflows, and that's very needed because specific fields or niche needs specific terminology to be used, and so the AI can be guided with that terminology. And of course, we need that human in a loop in order to ensure that the messages are meaningful and contextually correct, and they're interpreting the the humor and the tone and the implied meaning of some of the expressions.
Absolutely.
All right, Eddie, can you hear us?
Eddie, having connection issues.
Oh, it seems like he's frozen.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so we're gonna give it a second here to hopefully Eddie will be jumping right back on. But very good conversation, guys. I'm really seeing a very different perspective from you guys, and also similar perspectives as well.
Absolutely.
Definitely, definitely.
All right.
All right. So I had a few idioms that I mean we can talk about that loses the meaning, and which is one of the issues with using AI only, is the loss of meaning, the false fluency that we usually encounter when using only AI to render without the human oversight. There's an expression called in Haitian Creole is called "mettez de l'eau dans du vin," which literally translates to "put water in your wine." It might just be like to the American who's listening, they might think that well, to the English speaker, I mean, they might say, well, it means it has something to do with the recipe because it said put water in your wine. Wow, mettez de l'eau dans du vin means come down, be come down, just come down. So it is important. The human oversight is a must. And will AI will ever be able to render that? I'm not sure. With all the progress that we have, I believe that we're heading towards more clarity. However, human are indispensable. it's a must, specifically for Haitian Creole. I must say that's my expertise, and then that's where I can have an opinion on. Absolutely.
Yes. Hi,
Yeah,
everyone. I jumped in because Eddie had something happened to him, but he is coming right back. But I wanted to mention another example that I recently talked about that said kokot ak figao. Like Marlene avec Constance, c'est un kokot ak figao. Like, how would you translate that? I want to ask any one of you language experts, how would you translate that in English? Or how would you explain it to an AI if you're training an AI? How would you put the definition of what kokot ak figao means?
Yes.
you could use me as an example because I'm not as strong in language as you all because I grew up here in the States for so long, but I actually don't know what it means, but I can make a guess. It just means you guys are really tight. You guys are
Close.
BFF. You guys are
See?
best friends. But I'm using my
Yes.
human interpretation,
Experience.
experience to figure that out. So was I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Um, but what I learned with ChatGPT, I asked ChatGPT what that means. It
Mhm.
didn't give me a perfect description, but it was there. It has an idea. And I think that AI is like a child, like those large language models, they're like children learning the language. And the more we feed them, the more they will be able to use their own mind. Well, I know they're not people, but they'll be able to contextualize based on what they know already to be like, oh, I think this may mean. But Kokotak Figao is a very difficult term for a non-native speaker to
Yes.
explain unless you have lived the language.
Absolutely.
Like you've experienced the language, then you can automatically figure things out.
Yes. And
Um,
one thing I wanted to make, I'm sorry to interrupt, Marlene. One thing I wanted to mention is that it is important to have that exactly what you're saying, the immersion. There are universities in the US actually that are like teaching and having courses in Haitian Creole and even having degrees to some extent in Haitian Creole. Um, However, the immersion is needed to go in the country and then to mingle with the population and then to really be with them for months to be able to understand certain expression and use it. So there comes the need to have native Haitian Creole interpreters in the loop and then working on those translations. There's another example that I have. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it was great seeing you guys. I'm gonna let Eddie get back on now, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you, Marlene, and thank you everyone for your patience. Technical difficulties, issues happening. Of course, getting my curiosity even with more energy right now. And I'm very curious. We've had some of the attendees. Maybe we can take a second, Camila, also to share a little bit more of the messages that we are getting on YouTube and LinkedIn from those that are attending. So, Angie, hello. We have people from the United States, people from Europe, people from different places, people asking also about other languages. There you go. Someone saying thank you to Marlene for this great Konbit that we have today. And when we talk about and I don't like saying smaller or smaller languages or languages with less speakers. We have this case around the world with many other languages. From what you've seen in the interactions between Haitian Creole and technology, what are the things that you think other smaller languages can learn, especially when we're talking about small language models, which is something that has been developed. What are some of the things that we can learn from the experiences that you've had with Haitian Creole?
I'm trying to understand. Could you please repeat that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the lessons in the interactions and the dynamics between people,
Mhm.
humans, and technology, not only artificial intelligence, because we've been using technology for a long time, right? in those interactions, what do you think smaller languages from other places in the world can learn? And I'm specifically directing, of course, these to indigenous languages in Latin America, but
Mhm.
also many indigenous languages in Africa. What from that dynamic technology people that you've experienced you think are important lessons that can be transferred elsewhere in the world?
Well, technology definitely is advancing all languages, especially the less spoken, the not less spoken. I don't want to say that, but it's just that it is important. Technology is putting all languages on a pedestal. It's in with that essence that it's essential for us to give those languages wings through technology and to give the people who speak those languages we call underrepresented or indigenous languages the wings that they need to fly and to get to stay alive and with technology. And I think it will bring them out on the public, and the world will know more about, especially Haitian Creole. Within the last few years, Haitian Creole um, expanded propensely. It's due to technology, I would say. I don't know if you guys want to add something.
Yes, so I wanted to add a few things, related to what you said. So basically, there are a couple of things that um, I think for, let's say, for countries or for people that speak languages that are part of the marginalized languages, the and indigenous languages. One of the things that they could do is basically is trying, like fighting a way for them to be able to create data set. When I say create data set, it's like they have books. Some of them probably, some of them may not have as much as books. Some of them may not have as much as videos or audios and all the transcript that they can use. But if they don't have these things, they would need to come up with the projects and all the things that they could do to build those data sets, to gather those data. Because if they gather those data, they have enough books, they have enough video, enough audio, and transcript and all of that. They can use those data sets to fine tune a AI model that could serve them well. Because we know, we have said that so many times, you need to teach the AI the language in order for the AI to understand, to fully understand the language. So, because of that, if you don't have enough data to feed into the AI system, it's going to be very complicated for the AI to understand all the nuances and all the, the cultural authenticity of these indigenous languages. So I know it's not something that is it's not easy to do, to come up with project like this, because they require a lot of money for you to be able to gather those data, to curate those data, and then have an AI expert, to use those data to create smaller language. Like when we said smaller language, we were talking about AI. We were talking like a smaller generative AI, because in the world of AI, you have those larger, they call it large language model, that has millions, billions of token. But also you have smaller language model that has, maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and 1 million, 2 million tokens. So basically, the people in those countries, they could come together and create small projects, and then find expert. They could be language services companies like us. They could be other organizations that are interested in AI, to help them gather those data, and then be able to create a smaller language model that they can use for their own country, for the people in their own country to be able, to have those languages for years to come. And then other people that want to use those languages as well, they can also use them to do other things like marketing, customer service, and interpretation and translation as well.
Yes, and I also want to add to that. So I've followed Creole Solutions social media, and there's certain lessons here and there that are shared, and so I try to apply those when I'm speaking or texting in Haitian Creole, and specifically like some of my friends that speak Haitian Creole, they kind of mix Haitian Creole and French together. And as I'm learning these new lessons and seeing how no, you don't need to do that. You can use a Haitian word instead of the French word, because what we're putting out on the internet is training the models, right? And so we need to ensure that we are properly writing Haitian Creole in its own form and not like mixing it with French, so that we can train the models for future use. And so, yeah, also putting Haitian Creole in more variety of contexts, not just in, media or film, but also uh, in other settings as well. And that's going to help train the models even more efficiently and at a bigger scale.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. I think one of the things that I think we have mentioned that without mentioning it, it's in AI philosophy. There's something called a symbol grounding problem. The symbol grounding problem is basically the idea of that AI can manipulate symbol, let's say words, but the AI lack the embodied experience, right? That gives the words the meaning. For example, I think we took some idioms, and then we were trying to and we said whenever you ask AI about those idioms, AI won't be able to give you the exact meaning of it, because and we know one of the problem is because of that a symbol grounding problem, because the people, I think you mentioned that, Jean-Mike, you mentioned that in one of the conversation that we had before the panel. So for someone living in Haiti, for someone that was born in Haiti and that was raised in Haiti, and then another Asian that was raised in another country, who could be the US, Canada, Dominican Republic, or somewhere else, even both of them, they're Asians, but their understanding of the Asian Creole will be completely different, because we just talk about the immersion as well. Because these two Asians, one of them were raised in Haiti, where they emerge in the culture. They understand the voodoo. They understand the go to church. They understand, when you talk to an Asian, you say, "Sak passe," that means like, "How are you doing?" And it says, "Na boule." They understand what it means. The "na boule," that means, we were fighting. Na boule means, we were trying. We were maintaining. That means not so good, not so bad, but we're just maintaining. Like those things for people living in Haiti, that understand, this is the situation. This is what we have to fight every day. And these are the things that we do, for the time of carnival, like on Sunday. These are the things that we do. And the weekend, these are the things that we do. And all of that good stuff. It's like, these are things that are part of the culture that make the culture of a country. And then people that speak the language must understand, because we talk about that. We took example of marketing. When you are doing like a marketing campaign, you need to use those psychological thing, like the color, the things the people like, the things that are really important to them, for that marketing campaign to resonate to them. So, but all of that has to do with the culture. All of that, have to do with the way these people live, the things that they believe in. Because if even if we want to talk about faith, if you're talking to a Jewish, and then you're talking to a Christian, they might, both of them, they might believe in God, but they would have, they see it differently. So it's the same thing for two people that speak the same language, but one of them have been raised in the country, one of them have been raised outside of the country. They would always see it differently. But you could imagine for AI right now, put the AI in the context. If two human beings that come from the same, they have the same roots. Their parents are Asians, but one was raised in Haiti, the other one was raised in the US. They don't understand Haitian Creole the same way. Could you imagine for AI? So it's more complicated, for AI to be able to understand all those contexts, and that's why the symbol golden problem, it's one of the huge problem that us working on AI solutions for the language services industry, we're trying to we're trying to fix, to making sure whenever we create a workflows to do translation or interpretation, we make sure we have the human layers, we have those. I think Constant mentioned that you have those terminology, right? You have this terminology there. Whenever the AI is fighting words and the AI can get it on the internet or can get it from the current workflow, you can use those, data set that has all those terminology. The AI can get it from it and then feed it to the workflow, and then the human can review everything. So I think it's a wonderful thing to be able to combine human and AI together, plus the other tools, like the terminology, data set, and all of that, to create a perfect workflow to be able, to provide accurate translation and interpretation to the client.
Absolutely.
Wow. Thank you, Fritz. That was very interesting. And I could relate with what you just said about, and Jean was also talking about how a child who was born in Haiti, I spent most of my childhood in Haiti, and I've immersed myself in the Haitian Creole language, as opposed to a sibling who who wasn't really exposed to the language as much as I have. And I'm thinking of my kids who were born here. So there are 3 levels of Haitian Creole right there, like my level and my brother's level and my kids' level. So that it could be our conversation, the way we speak, it's completely different. Like we have different terms and expressions. Some of them may mix English with Creole, or some with French, but me, I try to speak a complete Creole. So I can totally understand what you're talking about. I wanted to ask you, I'll start with Constance. How can a small, because we both own small translation companies and we specialize LSPs, how can companies like ours collaborate with big techs in the AI era? Like, how do you see that?
Oh, great question. Well, I would say we are the reference. The one analogy I always use is, so with clients, I would say that whenever they come to us, or they're asking us for a quote and stuff like that, we always make sure that they know that LSPs, other LSPs, they come to us, because we are the reference. So we are the reference. We are the experts in the language, and I believe that we should be a great resource to the bigger companies. We can surely collaborate with them and make sure that the messages, the translation work that they're providing to their customers is culturally adapted. So many times I've received requests from companies that use machine translation, but they have a marketing campaign. I would say, like, I would take an example, that a company wanting to put out a message about things are getting complicated within the message. That's what they want to convey. So for it to be adapted for Haitian Creole, it's another total idiom that would need to be put out there, not a term that would need to be coined, but if it would take it to the extent of translating it bagayo miel. So bagayo miel, but if you literally bring it back to English, it would mean things are getting honey, like things are getting sweet.
Yeah.
And it would lose completely the meaning, and it would bring it's completely a different meaning, the opposite meaning. So I believe that we are the reference. I believe that we're here to collaborate with LSPs, and we can make a difference. We can make a difference with for the message that is being put out there, and to make sure that it's culturally adapted, nuanced, and so that it can also bring to bring cultural truths, and with the intent and the respect for the population. Because I know there are certain terms that are really biased, and within AI, that if a message is conveyed this way, it can totally offend um, Haitian speakers who are native Haitian speakers who are reading it. So it is important to have that human oversight and that the native oversight of experts, which is even something that we do as LSPs. We do have consultants, we do have experts within their field that when we are working on projects, as big as the project is, as small as the project is, we want to make sure that it is culturally attuned. It is actual based on what the client wants to convey. That matters too. When the client comes to us, it is important for us to sit down with them, make sure terminology wise, literally literacy wise. I know, Marlene, you're big with plain language. I know at the ATA 2 years ago, you had a presentation on plain language, which is another aspect that we can have an entire conversation on.
Right.
It is important to convey the message um, in a way that it is understandable, that it doesn't confuse the readers. Yeah. So
Yeah, thank you.
Uh,
Any other takes on that topic? That's very interesting.
yes. So I wanted to add a few things,
Okay.
related to what Constant just said, but it's basically me, like, I'm gonna rephrasing like a few other things, like based on what you said. I think like us has, LSPs, if we want to, work with big tech company, first of all, we are expert when it comes to like when it comes to the languages that we provide, especially for Asian Creole, we are experts. So basically, our expertise can serve them. But not only that, since LSPs like ours, we own a lot of data. So we have
Yeah.
huge data set for translation, for interpretation. So we could work with them as data providers, and then also, collaborators. Like they need the expertise, they need us to do the oversight to making sure, because after you train the data, or after you train the AI, or you fine tune the AI, you still need expert to be able to go into and then chat with the AI, ask the AI questions, to do, deep analysis, to make sure before you send, before you put it live for people to use it. But only linguist expert will be able, to test those AI, and see where those AI need improvement and things like that. So basically, I think for big tech looking into, building AI, especially to do translation and interpretation, and to do other things, and the language services industry. Like I said, the language services provider can work with them as collaborators or data providers, and then also, help them and curate the answers that people would be able to get from those AI, and teach those AI all the, human skills that AI doesn't have itself. The cultural nuances and the intent, the voice, and how to say certain things, not to offend certain people. Like Constance says, the AI might say something that offend an Haitian Creole speaker, but if you have expert language that work with this AI, ask questions, see how the AI is getting those answers. You can prompt it better in order for it, to look for the nuances, to look for the cultural nuances, to look for the intent and all of that before they give an answer to a user using it. So basically, definitely, the language services providers, they can collaborate with big tech company to create more powerful and cultural our AI system that can serve not only language like Asian Creole, but also other marginalized languages.
Yes, and I also want to add, you know, so like LSPs, they can help add that accountability aspect. Marlene, you talked about how when the earthquake happened and you were helping interpret it for a client, Mary Rose, right? And she simply said one thing to you after the whole ordeal. She just said "merci," and you could feel how your language services helped her so much. So that's because you cared about the person, and AI is going to have difficulty caring about the outcomes, and that's why you need that human element that's going to provide accountability and trust and accuracy and a respect for the person itself. And you also shared another example of when there was a factory that had some instructions for operating machinery, and it was ran through Google Translate, and there were so many errors that it caused bodily harm. And after you were brought in, the accidents went down, and so that's going to help these large companies in uh, areas of specific areas like healthcare, legal, or the workplace, people working with machinery. It's going to really uh, help reduce risk because there's this human element. All of these areas affect human life, and so you can help prevent that risk. And so, yeah, I think AI can be here to assist, but it shouldn't replace the humans in these contexts, so that you can keep the accuracy and the safety and the care and all of those good stuff.
So I think I want to add one more thing to what you just said. When we're talking about safety and things like that, especially for AI, there's something called prompt injection, and it's one of the security risk that we have with AI. So basically, imagine that like a huge company, a huge tech company, they built AI system to do translation and interpretation, and they don't have those security layers, and someone with malintention use it, do prompt injection, and then get a very we can say like message or information that can hurt people from those AI, and then put them out there. All of that can it's a risk. It's not only a risk for the people using the AI, but also it's a risk for those companies themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely. The that part is really important. That's why it's from the get-go. It is important for the human, for a translator to be in charge of it, not just AI from the initial project, to be able to make sure that no sensitive data, no personal information is inputted, that the documents are sanitized before being put in for rendition. And with that too, companies have the responsibility to to make sure that their systems are secured, and to provide the guarantee to the clients that their information is safe.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you. And I totally agree with what Fritz say, because right now data is the new gold. And like our company has over 10 years of data, like memories, and it's professional translations that's written correctly. So this could be one way we could collaborate with, big tech. And I also like how you stressed on confidentiality, because security is important, especially when you're dealing with health information or personal information. That's very important. So I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you to our panelists and everyone who engaged with our comments. This conversation reminds us that technology advances meaningfully only when guided by human understanding, cultural intelligence, and of course, ethics. As we wrap up day one, I want to thank you all for being here, for your curiosity, participation, and commitment to advancing Haitian Creole in every sphere of life. Let's close today's session with a few reflections. Today, we've seen the strength of Konbit, the collective power of working together. We've talked about language as identity and about the balance between human wisdom and technological change. Thank you to our speakers. Thank you to the multilingual team, especially Camila working hard in the background, and to everyone watching from all over the world. Join us again tomorrow, day 2, where we'll continue with new panels, lectures, and discussions that look toward inclusion, practice, and the future of Creole and digital spaces. Until then, merci en pile. Thank you, and see you tomorrow for another day of Konbit 2025.